What is going on YouTube? It's your host again, back with another review, and this time I got you a pretty special review. This time I got you the review of the first Spider-Man movie of the Sam Raimi trilogy, and which I mean the very first one in 2002. And I'm gonna tell you what I think of it, if I liked it or not, and well, let's just begin with the video. So the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, you see, I was at was I was as a kid. As a kid, I used to like this movie a lot, and now that I, grown up a lot, and seen all the Spider-Man movies, I'm beginning to dislike the Tom Maguire movies because, well, let's just say they're not that great as they used to be. Because now we have, Spider-Man Homecoming, which is considered, in my opinion, the best Spider-Man movie that we've had. And alongside those are the Amazing Spider-Man movies, which in my opinion are considerably better, in my opinion, than the Tobey Maguire movies. But of course they're not better than Spider-Man Homecoming. But anyways, let's get to the review, shall we? Let's. So, overall, the movie is pretty much like like everybody would expect, the origin of Spider-Man. And let's just begin with our protagonist, Peter Parker, played by good old American Tobey Maguire. And that is where most of my hate comes from the movie, because I freaking hate Tobey Maguire. Even as a kid, I didn't even see him as my definitive Spider-Man, because that reward then came to Andrew Garfield, and then finally came to Tom Holland, because at least those guys actually look like Peter Parker. Tobey Maguire, on the other hand, he just had some too many frog like features to make to actually look like Peter Parker, which he doesn't, because he has all those frog like features. Even James Franco admits that he looks like a freaking frog. But anyways, let's just stop insulting, Tom Maguire before he, take forces me to take down this video. So, my overall thoughts on this movie, I think it's split in the middle. I don't like it, I don't hate it. It's just that it has too many corny scenes from the movies, especially the pumpkin bomb scene for from the balcony, because those effects haven't aged well. It looks like a freaking Scooby Doo movie from like the 80s or 90s. Even the effects would be good for the 80s or 90s, but nope, this came out in the early 2000s. But oh well, those are the effects back then. Now we got much better and much better and efficient and more efficient effects these days. But it was 2002, so that's what you would get back then. So yeah, it begins with as you would expect, Tom Maguire as Peter Parker comes to the field trip and gets bitten by the radioactive spider and blah blah blah. And Norman Osborn becomes the Green Goblin in the middle of the movie. Uncle Ben dies when Peter pretty much leaves him there, and when he goes to the wrestling arena, when Uncle Ben thinks that he's going to the library to study, and then Peter tries to get the Uncle Ben's killer, and pretty much realizes that it's his fault because of Uncle Ben's death, even though he got the wrong guy. Which I'll get into that when I get to Spider-Man 3, but right now let's just focus on Spider-Man, on the first Spider-Man movie, but because we'll get to the real killer, killer of Uncle Ben in the third movie, because the one in the movie, Dennis Carradine is not the killer, it's not Uncle Ben's killer, but he is in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and possibly the Uncle Ben's killer in the Spider-Man Homecoming. We don't know yet because they didn't. Well, they did kind of mention Uncle Ben, but not at all that much in the movie. So yeah, Peter Parker then realizes with great power comes great responsibility. He makes the real Spider-Man costume. He fights crime and all that stuff. He encounters Norman a few times, who takes up the Green Goblin persona, and then all those scenes, blah blah blah, and then gets to the final battle in the bridge, Green Goblin has MJ as a hostage and like literally a carriage full of kids, and Spider-Man has to decide which one he's gonna save and all that stuff, and he ends up saving both, and then comes the final battle between Spider-Man and Green Goblin, and ultimately Spider-Man wins. Spider-Man wins, but only because Norman tried to kill him, but ended up killing himself, and then we get to to Norman's funeral, and then it gets to the credit scene. So that's what you're gonna get in the movie. If you guys are new into the Spider-Man, into the Spider-Man, all about Spider-Man. So that's what you're gonna get in that movie. And when I think of it again, it's not a bad movie, but it's not a very great movie in my opinion, because it's this little bit dated. Yeah, just like the other movies. Well, okay, I'm gonna have to admit the third movie is also dated, even though it came out in 2007, which apparently the third movie had better effects, have overall better effects than the other two movies. But anyways, let's get this out of the way. So yeah, I'm not really a big fan of these movies. I used to be when I was a kid. I used to like them, but yeah, I don't really like them. I don't really have anything nice to say about these movies. It's just that now that I've seen now that I've seen the amazing Spider-Man movies and Spider-Man Homecoming, yeah, I don't like these movies anymore. And so the plot is simple, but at least it's a good plot, and the events actually lead to, and actually we get some character development in the movie because we get Peter's arc, Norman's arc, and they both end pretty much as they should, and yeah, pretty much I don't really like this movie. Um, because people still see it as this world-changing superhero, this worldwide superhero changing in the superhero genre, which it is. It used to be, but not anymore because now we got the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they're doing good overall. For now, let's just hope that they do it. Still make a good job with their movies, but it wasn't the first movie to save the superhero genre, because Blade also came before this movie got over here, which which Blade saved the superhero genre also. But I guess this takes part into saving the genre too. So yeah, but yeah, I don't really like this movie. I would give it like a I don't know, like a 5 out of 10, because that's as much as I like it. Because I don't like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, but the only character that's entertaining in the movie is Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin, which he's pretty. Sometimes he's freaking hilarious. Sometimes overall he's the best actor in the movie, but he's not the actual best actor. That award comes to J. Jonah Jameson. Well, J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson, because he's so freaking hilarious in all the movies. Pretty much, he's the best character in all three of them, and pretty much yeah, my other friends may like this trilogy, but I'll be honest, I don't like this movie or the rest of the trilogy, because I'm not really a big fan of this trilogy. I'm not at all, trust me, because I prefer the Amazing Spider-Man movies and Spider-Man Homecoming over this. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this movie, but you guys have your own opinions, and I respect that. If you like this trilogy, I respect that. And that's what I think of the first Spider-Man movie, and the next review will be on Spider-Man 2, and the one after that will be on Spider-Man 3. And the one after that will be The Amazing Spider-Man, and the one after that will be The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So you can expect those reviews to come up someday. And Well, yeah, that's the end of the video. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Web up that like button and see you later, webheads.